Hi, everyone. It's me, Dr. Whimsy from beautiful Cork, Ireland. My friend Francis and I are having a really, really nice time, but I did want to come hang out with you for just a little bit, throw some cards, and tell you what I found out. This is just a checkup on Trump versus Harris versus Trump, however you want to call it. But as you can see, I went ahead and I did the cards, and we can go ahead and take a look at them. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, it would be really great if you could like, subscribe, and share this stream. And think about membership, which is also a great way to support me. But so these are Trump's cards. This is the clarification here. I actually wanted to get to the first deck I did of him, which I believe is this it? Let me see here. Yeah. So if you're looking at this deck, this spread, this is the first spread that I did of Trump. It was interesting to go into Trump's energy. For this is the third time he's running for president, right? We have complete Trump exhaustion at this point, but it's a very interesting spread. The first thing is I checked in with my emotions. I'm a remote viewer, and I use an empathy technique called heart-centered remote viewing in order to feel the emotions of the subject that I'm attempting to make contact with. And the first thing I felt when I went into the energy of Trump was actually a feeling that I was painfully aware of my isolation. You know, I was very aware when I went into this that I was alone, that I felt very much that my wife had basically abandoned me and walked out. My first feeling as Trump is a feeling that I can't rely on my family, a sense of being betrayed by my family, a sense that the people that should have my back don't have my back, that my wife, um, my wife is not there for me, that Melania doesn't care about me. This is the first emotion I felt when I gazed at the cards and put myself in the shoes of Donald Trump, that I am alone, that I can't rely on others to uh, be there, supporting me, supporting. I just basically felt alone. This was the first emotion that I had as Trump. And it's interesting. The first card has to do with the Three of Pentacles, and this can be building something. It's an architecture card. But for me, it felt that it was the case or cases against him. And the reason which is one of the ways that I view the Three of Pentacles, because it's an architecture card and you're building a structure, just like a poem requires. If you write a poem, it has a structure. You might see Three of Pentacles. If you're writing something that has a structure, it's about building a structure or a blueprint. But in this particular case, if you look at the cards, it's really talking about evidence against him and payment. Six of Pentacles is a justice card, balancing justice. It may be somebody who has to pay something financially. And so we have this evidence against him, the weight of the money that he is owed. Here in first position, you can see that first position card is the Three of Pentacles, as if presenting evidence against him. And then crossing, of course, is the Judgment card. What's interesting here is that, as you know, if you've taken class with me, I picked two bases. The first is the base of the matter, which is right over here. We can see the base of the matter is the Queen of Swords. The issue for him is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is usually an air sign female, And in fact, Kamala Harris is a Libra born October 20th. So he is dealing with the issue of an air sign female and his karma, or the dark karma of his karma. What he must go through is cause and effect, because the card underneath the base matter is the 11th card. It's not used by most readers, but I do use 12 cards in my Celtic cross. And the 11th card is one's karma, what you have to go through. It's not the same as a crossing card. A crossing card is an obstacle. It's not the same. If you have obstacles, you have obstacles. But karma is ultimately your own doing. And not every obstacle in life, unless you're a narcissist, has anything to do with you. Sometimes it has to do with something that has nothing to do with you, right? But in this particular case, his karma is closely connected with Kamala Harris. And also, it's the karma of his past actions. But we can see the base of the matter is Kamala Harris and the destiny he has with Kamala Harris. The first house I used here to represent him was the King of Swords, because he is, I believe, a Gemini, and that is also an air sign. So I used that as a significator just to help me focus and meditate on him. And we can see the first card over him was Three of Pentacles, which I read as evidence in a court case, because the justice was crossing. And so I'm choosing, or I'm sensing, that this has to do with the fact that he has this money that he owes. He has to pay money back, restitution, Eugene Carroll, possible taxes, the tax man coming after him. He's got all this money due. And he hopes for a new beginning. Four of Wands is to build something new, and a hope for, he feels that victory is coming. But you can see he's got to get through this court case, this money issue. And he's also an incredibly stubborn person. You get the impression with these cards. His past placement is the Four of Pentacles, which is frugality. It's pulling back. It's holding on to his own coin. It could be an indication of frugality, or even someone who's tight for money. And you can see that's kind of interesting, that juxtaposition where he's tight for money. He's got it, and then he's got this case and the justice and evidence and coins, and he's got this karma with Kamala. And then we have here Four of Cups. He refuses something. So he's rejecting something, or he's not willing to make a deal. It could be that they say you have to pay a certain amount, and he refuses, and he attempts to delay, but he's not taking the offer. What's interesting up here, if you go further up in the cards, you can see his immediate environment is the Emperor or the President. It can be the President's card, which has me a little bit nervous, because it could be an indication that he does in fact become the president. I've always said this can go two ways, and that we should not get comfortable. Even if Lichtman says that Kamala Harris is going to win, people thought that Hillary was going to win. We have to vote, and we have to vote as if our lives depend on it, because they do. If you think of, women's right to choose, etc. So he sees himself as the emperor, and that is this. It could be his sense of self. The other, his opposition, is grieving what they have lost. This also has me nervous, because again, it could indicate that we are losing ground. He's growing in the polls. What's interesting about his hope and fear is being fenced in, or it could be an incarceration card, but it's also agoraphobia, somebody who's been beaten down, they've been shoved into a corner, and it could be a fear. And then his final outcome is slow and steady wins the race. It can also be the end, because it's the knight that goes nowhere. So sometimes it's the end. It's the end of the road. So that is the first throw I have on him. And then I want to look at a clarification on him. So an additional 4 cards can come up. And if you're working with me as a student, this is something you may want to consider, is to just grab another 4 cards and see, I need some clarification. So here's the clarification. The king, or excuse me, the emperor, the president, the leader, who takes the weapons of war against his enemies. He takes the weapons away from his enemies. So it could be an attempt to dismantle or take away the power of his enemies. And that, again, would be disturbing if you don't want him to win, because this could indicate that he has some ability to dismantle his enemies, and again, to stand in a position of power as the emperor. His opposition is grieving, the 5 of Cups, and they're confused. There's also there's grief and confusion about perhaps his rise or the fact that he's doing well. The 7 of Cups can be delusion, so it's very important that we not become deluded or be inside of our own echo chamber, talking to other people who think the way that we do. It's really important to reach across the aisle and get out the vote, volunteer if you can, do what you can. If you are a Democrat, to make sure that he doesn't get elected. Don't get complacent. The hopes and fears, again, we talked about being cornered, being held in a place. This can be agoraphobia, being cornered. It can be, some people see it as jail. And we can see this King of Wands. He's afraid of this King of Wands. King of Wands is the card that we use for somebody who's aggressively pushing against or attempting to take territory. It's ruled by Mars. It can be a warrior king. It was a card that I used quite a lot for the Justice Department, because Chango, which is the earliest representation of the King of Wands, is associated with justice and justice absolute. Like I've said in the past, wands have to do with territory or taking over one's territory, trying to get a hold of one's territory, and he has a loss of territory. Jack Smith, the Justice Department, could all be examples. What's interesting is that we have it going slow or ending due to the devil. So the devil takes it slow, or he's chained to some kind of an addiction that takes it slow, and codependency. This doesn't show necessarily defeat, but it shows a codependency or an addictive personality. Maybe he's chained by something, and this addiction or this codependency is slowing down his ability to advance. A little bit of the information about Chango and justice. As I said before, the earliest history of Chango is actually from the Yoruba, and I'll show you some imagery again I've showed in the past of Chango, the warrior who fights for justice. And these are really the earliest representations of him. You can see here with the wand. This is 8,000 years old. Fire, justice. You see, lighting, fire, justice. And here's someone beautifully dressed as Chango. It's just really nice, beautiful images in general, if you want to check those out. But he is somebody who fights for justice. And so for that reason, I've always associated the Justice Department, Robert Mueller, Jack Smith, the red of justice. And it's interesting that that is his hope and fear, is that he has this this fear of the man of justice. So I thought that that was rather interesting. Okay, so moving on to Kamala Harris. Let me see if I can find her. She's 254. Okay. I think I did it all as one, so I'm just going to show it to you. I think I just did all of it. And this is Kamala Harris, and this was quite good, actually. You can see Armistice Day or a victory card is coming in here with her. Um, this is her karma card is the Three of Cups. It can be a power symbol for women. Make it a little bigger for you. And it's with a 10 of Cups, which is happy days are here again. So her destiny is strong women and happy days. So this is quite auspicious for Kamala Harris. And you can see here, Kamala Harris is presented as the Queen of Swords, also a Justice card. It's an air sign female, but you can see that she is having some problems. For starters, she has the devil right over her. So she has a addiction, codependency, drugs, this dark energy over her. And that could be because they're attacking her in ways that they similarly attacked Hillary, calling her a communist, accusing her of being a prostitute. There's been all kinds of crazy accusations that have been made against her. And then Four of Pentacles would be a retreating or a retraction of her energy. And you can see here the Tower in the third house, again, not a good sign. So she's really being rattled by these attacks. She really can't stop what's going on X or Telegram. Well, I guess Telegram, they might be shutting down, but you can see neither of this is good. This is disturbing to see, and it would show her almost on retreat with these types of cards. Even though her ads have been very aggressive, this is certainly starting to take a hold. This attack, the devil energy, retracted, Tower in her third house. She's probably getting psychologically played quite a bit, trying to, and also Four of Swords would be calming yourself, being like a yogi. What is above her is to walk away from everything and seek the ninth cup. And also Archangel Raphael is with her. So I would say be very careful about your health right now. If you are Kamala Harris, don't engage in any toxic behaviors with a devil card over you and Eight of Cups, and also with this meditation card here and Raphael coming in. Just make sure you're taking care of your health because of that juxtaposition. Knight of Cups in the seventh house would be a wooing card. It's the Holy Grail. It could be that she's trying to woo voters and her opposition is taking things slow and steady. Her hopes and fears is the King of Swords, which would be Donald Trump, I'm assuming. And then her final outcome here, the first card is presents as the Scholars card, which is very good, which is she's similar to Hillary Clinton in the sense that she's an academic, she's an intellectual, she's trying to take care of herself emotionally and just focus on the work. She's bringing in, so she's probably prepping very, very hard, trying to keep her mental health together before the debate. Now, the clarification is rather interesting. Four of Cups would mean that she's probably similar to Trump in the sense that she will not back down and she will not take a lesser offer. So she stands by her principles and has that stubborn streak. Her opposition is confident, which has me concerned. Confidence, financial stability, slow and steady wins the race, perhaps. So there's definitely a fight coming. Hopes and fears again, the race. Remember, Chariot is literally like a car. It's a race. When you're racing, if it's a political race, we will often use the chariot because chariots were used to race. So the great universal mind tries to communicate with us using the cards. It will pull out the race, the chariot, the race. So the race she is having with the King of Swords. And then the final outcome here is mastery. You can see here, Eight of Pentacles is the master who pounds away until they have perfection at their work. And the Scholars card. What they're basically saying is that this fight that she's going through right now with Donald Trump is actually making her a better president because it's forcing her to really know the issues inside and out and know what is ultimately best for the country, best for the planet, best in terms of foreign policy. She's really hammered down to try and find out what is the best intellectual solutions. How do we fix it? And that ultimately appears to be how she wins. Again, it's looking as if she wins because if you look at, again, at the karma, it's Three of Cups. If she can get out the vote, if she can get women to participate and for women to be excited about her and get out there and have that armistice energy, and then the Ten of Cups, then I would say with these cards, despite her going through a rough patch right now and emotional challenges that she could be having right now because of the race, ultimately, if she is smart, keeps her head about her, takes care of her health, don't get sick. Remember, Raphael was there. Slow and steady, yes, but mastery and precision and truly knowing the issues inside and out and being rational is the way that she will likely win the presidency. And the time she is spending now prepping for the debate is ultimately going to be good for her because it's going to make her a better president. All right, so thank you everybody for watching today and checking the cards with me. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can do so by going to Booksy, Whimsy at Booksy, and the information is below this video. If you need a quick 5-minute one question, those are pre-taped. I think it's $30. Wizio, I keep the price low for people. I try to make it affordable for people. That information is also below. All right. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you. God bless. Peace out. And we'll see you next time.